Let's be real. If fat loss was easy, we would all be walking around in crop tops, flexing our abs, and high-fiving each other at Whole Foods. But after coaching more than 200 people on their weight loss journey since 2018, I've learned one real hard truth. Most people will never keep the weight off. And it's not because they suck at dieting. It's because most dieters keep falling for the same diet traps over. And trust me, after losing and regaining the same 50 pounds myself too many times to count, I've experienced every one of these traps firsthand. From the I'll just try harder on Monday mindset to the butter is totally a food group keto crew who swears the fat just melts away with each salted slab until one day it magically reappears. And after losing 100 pounds while downing a few sticks of butter myself, I've coached everyone from complete beginners to chronic yo-yo dieters through my 21-day keto challenges. While I haven't run a challenge in a while, there are patterns I saw during the challenges with so many different dieters that it's almost eerie. Like, I could guess exactly how their progress would go before the first weigh-in even happened. But instead of just watching people crash and burn, I took notes. In this video, I'll show you the biggest lessons I've learned from coaching more than 200 dieters so you don't keep making the same mistakes. Because if you want to lose weight and actually keep it off, these lessons are the stuff no fad diet will ever teach you. So if you've ever felt stuck, frustrated, or like you're doing everything right but still not making progress, this one's for you. But if you keep falling into this first diet trap that it seems like 99.9% of dieters fall into, prepare yourself now to regain every pound you lose. Back when I coached keto challenges, my challengers were on fire, with some challengers dropping up to 25 pounds in only 3 weeks. And I mean that literally. Because I had one challenger who lost 26.2 pounds in only 21 days, and she didn't even have to run a marathon to get those big losses each week. But you know what happened just a few months later? She was right back to where she started, and then some. Because here's what no one wants to admit, which even includes me back when I thought I was helping people do the impossible with these quick weight loss challenges. Fast weight loss feels magical. But only until all of the weight you lose boomerangs right back, slapping you in the face with your old jeans. Sure, dropping weight quickly feels amazing in the moment because your jeans fit better, you can wear shirts without seeing belly rolls pop out, and everyone keeps telling you how amazing you look. But if the habits that got you there aren't habits that you can follow forever, the truth is, you're not really losing fat. You're just borrowing progress that you haven't truly earned. Because once all of those fast weight loss habits become too overwhelming to keep up with, well, you haven't really taught yourself anything that actually works long term. Which means you'll be back to listening to Simon and Garfunkel on repeat, replacing their lyrics with "Hello belly fat, my old friend." But there's an even harder truth about fast weight loss that none of these big diet gurus will mention. Because then you'll finally understand the reason their quick miracle diets aren't quite so miraculous after all. And here's what they don't want you to hear. Whenever you set out to lose a lot of weight quickly, you're not just losing fat. There's a whole lot of muscle headed out the door with it. And sometimes the ratio of fat loss to muscle loss can be almost equal. Which means if you lose 26 pounds in only 3 weeks, that's nothing to celebrate since 13 pounds of that is muscle, which is the metabolic boost you need to actually keep the weight off. And I get it. Building muscle doesn't get the same hype as a shrinking scale number, but muscle is your metabolism. And it's the reason you can eat adult-sized portions without your genes plotting revenge. It's the tissue that keeps you strong, toned, and actually allows you to eat more of what you enjoy. When I coach people who lost weight fast, whether through keto, extreme fasting, or if they used medical interventions like Ozempic or even weight loss surgery, looking back, they were all making this same huge fat loss mistake because they never cared about eating enough food to preserve muscle. And maybe 1 out of 30 challengers were actually going to the gym in an effort to at least maintain the muscle they had. Plus, all of the keto gurus back then claimed high protein was the ketosis kiss of death, So I know not a single challenger ate even close to her goal weight in protein. And yeah, they all lost weight. So I chalked all of their stories up as challenge success stories. But looking back, they also tanked their energy, wrecked their strength, and set themselves up for rebound weight faster than a post-breakup Tinder spree. Because once you lose muscle, it's like asking your body to run on fumes. And the second you try to eat normally again, boom, weight regain. But that's not because you're broken. It's because the system you relied on, which includes only celebrating if you were at the top of the pack, dropping 5 or 10 pounds a week like it was no big deal. But the challengers who didn't follow this fat loss rule never even made it to the end of the 3-week challenge. And this is the one that breaks my heart, because I've watched incredible women only lose half a pound in a week and then completely spiral. They'd leave comments in the group chat like, "I worked so hard, what am I doing wrong?" Or, "I followed my macros to a T. Why won't this work for me like it does for everyone else?" And only lost a pound. Screw it, I'm getting pizza. Which, trust me, I've set a time or 200 myself. Meanwhile, they were eating more whole foods, getting in more steps, drinking more water, paying attention to their digestion, and showing up for themselves in ways that they never have before. But because the scale didn't drop 3 pounds overnight, they felt like they were failing. But here's what I wish every dieter I've ever coached understood. Fat loss is a painfully slow trust fall with your habits. It's boring and repetitive, and it's full of small wins that never feel big enough. At least not until those wins stack up and change everything. Because that walk you took when all you wanted to do was sit on the couch with a big bowl of chips, or that protein shake you made instead of grabbing another sugar-laden frappuccino, and that night you settled for Greek yogurt for dessert instead of diving headfirst into another pint of Ben & Jerry's, that's the unsexy, unfiltered, uncelebrated work that actually changes your body. These are the actions that build consistency over time. And not taking time to recognize these small wins means there will never be any big wins to celebrate. So yeah, I've coached 200 dieters, and I've learned that even though fast results are exciting, they're also fleeting. Because the muscle gains that make your scale spike up are way more important than the water weight that quickly pushes it down after restricting every last carb. And the way you approach weight loss at the beginning makes all the difference between another temporary fix or results that actually last. Because dieters who succeed for more than a month or two, they're never the ones who follow some strict plan perfectly. They're the ones who do the boring stuff on repeat, even when their scale is being an absolute jerk. Speaking of which, if you want to learn all of the small habits I committed to that added up to big results, then watch this video next. You'll learn 17 tiny fat loss habits that lead to really big results, as long as you follow through.